Hello everyone and welcome to another video of the Sky channel. So in this video we're going to be covering everything you need to know about one of the most important stats in the game, and that is speed. Now especially if you're new to the game, you've probably been hearing everyone talking about speed and its importance as a stat. And I'm sure the first thought that comes to your mind when you hear speed is that speed is probably important because it determines who attacks first in the battle. And that's completely correct. It actually does determine who goes first in the battle. But there's a lot more to it than that. You see, unlike other turn-based games where each of your heroes go through one turn and then the opponent does their turns and then it comes back to you, Raid works a little bit differently. You see, there is a turn meter. Now, I just started this battle and you can see Rector Drath, the healer all the way to the right. His turn meter, which is that yellow bar that's right underneath their health green bar, is 0. That's because currently it's his turn. Right? You can see the skills that they're showing are showing for Rector Drath. That means that it was full and of course it got used up so that now he can use a skill. The reason why Rector Drath went first out of all of the 4 that I have and the enemies is because Rector Drath has the highest speed. Therefore, he got selected to go first. Now, if you look at the other champions I have on my side, you can see that they all actually have the yellow bar full. That's because they're all pretty high speed, and that means that their turn is coming up soon. Now, if you look at the enemies' yellow bars, you can see that they are not full. And since mine are already full, this means that all 4 of my champions are going to attack before any of the enemy's champions even get the opportunity to do so. Because my champions' turn bars are full, the enemy champions are still not full. So this is just solidifying the point that we talked about before, that speed determines who goes first. And now, once I release this skill of Rector Drath, the second fastest of my champions, which happens to be Sun Wukong, is now ready to attack. Now you can see that the enemy's turn bars, the yellow bars underneath their health, are filling up as well. So Rector Drath's turn is done, the enemy's bars are filling up. You can also see that the Rector Drath, whose bar was completely empty because at that moment it was their turn, has now started filling some of their turn bar as well. So let's release a skill with Sun Wukong. His turn's done. And the next fastest champion, happens to be Kale, is now ready to release their turn. You can also see that there are enemy champions that are now full in their turn bar. But since their speed is less than Alice, Alice should be going up next. So let's release a skill with Kale and let's go to Alice, exactly as expected. Now Rector Drath's bar is starting to fill up and you can see it's already close to halfway through. Now after I release the skill with Alice, I want you to note something interesting. The enemy's Alice has not yet attacked. However, the turn is back to Rector Drath. You see what happened there? Rector Drath, due to his higher speed, is able to get 2 turns in before Alice of the enemy even got a single turn in. And that's what I wanted to focus on. You see, speed doesn't just determine who goes first, it actually also determines how many times you go, right? So Rector Drath, having a much higher speed than the enemy's Alice, is able to go in twice before Alice of the enemy even goes in once. Think of it this way. Imagine it's a racetrack, a circular racetrack, and there's a bunch of cars, right? There's your car and then there's the enemy's car. Every time you reach the finish line, you get to do one attack. So if your car is really fast, and the enemy's car is really slow, you'll reach the finish line once, make an attack, and then perhaps you might even reach the finish line a second time before the enemy has even completed their first round. Meaning, you might attack them twice before the enemy even attacks you once. Theoretically speaking, if you're super fast, right, you could have released 5 attacks or completed 5 rounds of the racetrack before the enemy even completes 1 round. What determines the speed of your car? It is your speed stat. So that's what makes the speed stat so important. You're not just determining who goes first, which also, by the way, makes a huge difference because if you go first, you can perhaps kill off some of your enemy champions, you can perhaps debuff them, you can make sure that your allies get a certain buff before the enemy can actually block buffs on them, right? Maybe you can get a heal buff in, or maybe you can get some attack buffs before the enemy can block you from getting them or whatnot. There's just so many benefits of going first that even that alone might have made speed a very valuable stat. The fact that you can go in multiple times, it just makes speed so much more valuable. Now, I do want you to take note of something important. So the yellow thing that we were talking about, it's called the turn meter, and basically speed determines how often your turn meter fills up and hence you attack. The numbers that you see on your skills, like our Alex right now, it's showing 1 and 2. That's the number of turns that Alice has to wait before she can release this particular skill. Now, this skill, Clockwork Cyclone, it actually reduces the enemy's turn meter by 15%, which means that speed isn't the only thing determining it. There are also certain skills that can increase your turn meter or, let's say, decrease the enemy's turn meter. And the numbers that you're seeing here, they can also be adjusted in other ways outside of your turn meter, and that can be through skills or special abilities. Like this skill actually also increases the cooldown of all enemy skills by 2 turns, right? And that means that if you see 1 right now, and let's say the enemy's Alice hit us with this skill, it would become 3. So there are other ways to manipulate as well, but at the very basic level, if you ignore these other special abilities and skills, the thing that determines how often you hit in general is speed. Okay, so now that we understand the importance of speed, let's talk a little bit about how we can get more speed. First off, speed boots. So boots are one of the only places where you can get speed as the primary stat. And since speed is so important, you want to make sure that you equip your main champions with speed boots. Now, in case you don't already know, the main stat is determined by the star level of your equipment. So here you have speed boots at level 12, giving you 26 speed. And if I were to max it out, it would give me 40 speed at level 16. Change boots to this one, it's 4-star and its maximum is 35. And if you go to a 6-star one, even though this one is a common boot, its maximum is 45. Simply put, it's the star level of your equipment that determines how high this maximum stat can go, not the rarity. Rarity determines more on the substat attributes rather than the main stat. So the biggest place where you can get speed is in the main stat of your boots. You want to try to make sure that you have that as speed. Try to have it as high star level as possible. Ideally 6-star, level 16 would be the best place where you can be with the speed boots. How else? Well, as you can see, all of the equipment that I've assigned to Alice happens to be part of the speed set. You can see that the weapon is speed, the helmet is speed, the shield is speed, and basically what that means is that I'm getting set bonuses of speed, and since I have 6 speed accessories, I'm getting plus 12, plus 12, plus 12, so 36% extra speed thanks to the fact that I've made sure that all of the equipment are speed. Outside of that, you can also get speed as a secondary stat in your equipment, assuming you're lucky enough, right? And if you get it in the early stages and you upgrade it to other levels, you can get lucky and perhaps your speed secondary stat is going to get improved, getting you a bunch of extra speed. Now, there are also Ascension bonuses, and particularly in boots, if you're ascending, you have the opportunity to get yourself speed as the Ascension bonus. So that is another way where you can get a little bit of an extra speed boost. And finally, if your equipment already has a little bit of speed in it, you can use a speed enchantment to get yourself a little bit of a boost in that speed. For example, you see if I use this 5-star, it gives me the opportunity to get between 1 to 5 extra speed for this particular equipment, right? And this is a banner. I could go to every other equipment where I have speed as a secondary stat, use this 5-star one to get myself up to 5 extra speed in each equipment where I have speed as a secondary stat. Of course, if I don't have speed as a secondary stat in the equipment, I cannot actually use this because it only works if it's already there. But if you add it up, let's assume I did have speed in all of my equipment and I went ahead and enchanted it with this extra 5-star speed stat, that can add up to a lot of extra speed. So if you want to be super fast, well, try to get lucky in this particular way as well. And of course, I guess it's worth mentioning that certain blessings can actually give you speed bonuses as well, assuming you have yourself a high enough soul star, right? For example, in Soul Reap, at 6 star, I get an extra 15 speed, and it just so happens that Soul Reap is a pretty nice blessing for Alice. Now, what I need is a 6 star Alice Soul, and boom, I get 15 extra speed. And of course, you can get some speed from Masteries as well. So those are a few ways for you to get extra speed and go first and deal a ton of extra damage to the enemies. Now you must be wondering, a lot of it had to do with equipment, right? There's the speed sets and hopefully getting a speed boot, but how do I get all of this? Well, if you go in your campaigns and go into Nightmare, here you have the ability to farm 3 to 6 star speed equipment. So you can see the first one giving you speed weapons, the second one gives you speed helmets of 3 to 6 star, third one gives you speed shields 3 to 6 star as well. You can see the fourth one giving you gauntlets, and you can see which primary stat it gives you. Perhaps you'd want some crit rate or crit damage based on how much your crit rate is at already. Fifth one giving you armor, and sixth one, which is probably where you'll be spending a lot of your time farming, is for your speed boots. And of course, you want to get speed as a primary stat, and hopefully 6 star. The other place where you can go is the Dragon's Lair, and here you get 4 to 6 star equipment, which can be of any of these sets. And of course, you want to get equipment with the speed stat, so you could farm here as well. Now, generally, there are events that happen, and they've happened pretty frequently since I started playing, where they have a 3 times more likelihood of getting speed equipment from the Dragon's Lair, and that generally happens at a similar time as the tournament, which requires you to farm Dragon's Lair anyway. So, since you have to be farming Dragon's Lair to get high ranks in the tournament, getting the extra likelihood of getting speed equipment is just even better. So Dragon's Lair is another place where you can farm speed equipment, particularly during Dragon's tournaments. And before I end, I do want to mention that you can save a lot of money when you make in-game purchases in Raid Shadow Legends. All you need to do is use our promo code with Aptoid, and anytime you make any purchase, you get 10 to 35% back as credits to use in future purchases. In the long run, you can save a ton of money, and a lot of people are already doing that and they're ever grateful. And I hope you can do it too, as it'll help you save a lot of money and it will also support our channel as well. And that's all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please like, please comment below, and subscribe to our channel so you can get notified when the next video comes out. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in the next one.